Most people watching this right now are soft. They're looking for motivation, for some magic pill that's gonna fix their pathetic lives. But I'm not here to motivate you. Motivation is bullshit. What you need is discipline. The hard truth that nobody wants to hear is that 99% of you will remain exactly where you are right now, because you lack the one thing that separates the achievers from the dreamers: fucking discipline. I'm going to show you exactly how discipline will completely transform your life. Not in some feel-good, temporary way, but permanently, by making you into someone who executes instead of excuses. Did you know that studies show only 8% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolutions? 8%. Why? Because most people confuse motivation with discipline. Here's what you're going to learn later in this video. The exact mental framework I used to go from a 300-pound exterminator to a Navy SEAL, ultramarathon runner, and world record holder. The same framework you can use starting today. Look at the thumbnail of this video. See that pain on my face? That's not motivation. That's discipline in action. That's the face of someone who's made a decision to continue when every fiber in their body is screaming to quit. Point number 1. Understand the fundamental difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a choice. I was once that 300-pound guy sitting on the couch, watching TV and eating cheesecake. I had moments of motivation, watching a Navy SEAL documentary and thinking, that looks cool. But that motivation lasted about as long as it took me to reach for another slice of cake. What changed everything wasn't more motivation. It was the day I looked in the mirror, what I call the accountability mirror, and made the choice to do what needed to be done regardless of how I felt. Here's where most people fuck up. They wait to feel like doing something. They wait for that motivation to kick in. But discipline is doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. When I was training for my first ultramarathon, do you think I felt like running 100 miles? Hell no. I felt like quitting after mile 20 when my feet were bleeding through my shoes. But discipline isn't about feelings. It's about making a decision beforehand and sticking to it regardless of how you feel in the moment. But wait, here's where it gets interesting. Discipline isn't just about forcing yourself to do hard things. It's about becoming the kind of person who does hard things as a natural extension of who they are. When I do these pull-ups, it's not because I feel motivated. It's because I've disciplined myself to the point where not doing them feels worse than doing them. That's the secret. That's the power of discipline. Point number 2. Discipline is a muscle that must be trained daily. Most people want to go from zero to hero overnight. That's not how this works. Your discipline muscle is like any other muscle in your body. It grows through consistent resistance training and recovery. Let me tell you something personal that I don't share often. When I decided to become a Navy SEAL, I couldn't even swim. I was terrified of water. My first day of training, I almost drowned in the pool. The instructors were laughing at me. But instead of quitting, I got up at 4:30 every morning and went to the YMCA to practice swimming before work. I didn't feel like it. My body was screaming no. But I made the choice. That's discipline. And here's the truth. I failed my first attempt at SEAL training. I got pneumonia and had to quit. Most people would say, well, I tried, and move on with their lives. But discipline isn't about trying once. It's about getting up after you've been knocked down and going harder. What I'm about to share changed everything for me. Start small, but be consistent. Don't try to change your entire life in one day. Pick one area. Maybe it's waking up at 5 a.m., or working out for 30 minutes, or reading 10 pages of a book, and commit to doing it every single day for 30 days. This isn't sexy. It's not exciting. But it works. Because each day you follow through, you're strengthening that discipline muscle. You're proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who does what they say they're going to do. Let me ask you something. How many times have you told yourself you were going to change? How many New Year's resolutions? How many Monday mornings? And where are you now? Still in the same place. Because you've been relying on motivation instead of building discipline. This is where most people will click away from this video. They'll think this is too hard or this doesn't apply to me. Prove you're different. Prove you have what it takes to listen to the hard truth. Keep watching, because what comes next might be exactly what you need to hear. Point number 3, discipline equals freedom. This sounds like a contradiction, but it's the absolute truth. Most people think discipline restricts their freedom. They think if I have to wake up early every day and work out, that's less freedom. Wrong. True freedom comes from discipline. When you lack discipline, you become a slave to your impulses, to your environment, to other people's expectations. When I was 300 pounds, I thought I was free because I could eat whatever I wanted. But I was a prisoner in my own body. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without getting winded. That's not freedom. Let me give you a real example from my life. When I first started running ultramarathons, I had to create an insane training schedule. 4 a.m. wake-ups. Running in the rain, snow, heat. It seemed like I had no freedom. But that discipline gave me the freedom to accomplish what less than 1% of humans ever will. It gave me the freedom to push my body beyond what I thought was possible. It gave me the freedom to discover who I truly am when everything else is stripped away. The undisciplined person is like a ship without a rudder, blown around by whatever wind comes their way. The disciplined person is the captain of their ship, choosing their direction regardless of the wind or waves. Which one sounds more free to you? Point number 4, create systems, not goals. Goals are important, but systems are what get you there. When I decided to become a Navy SEAL, that was the goal. But what got me there was the system of discipline I created. Here's my exact system that you can implement today. First, the accountability mirror. Every morning, look yourself in the eye and tell yourself exactly what you're going to accomplish that day. Not what you hope to accomplish or what you'll try to accomplish. What you will accomplish. Second, the cookie jar. This is where you keep all your past wins, no matter how small. When things get tough, reach into that cookie jar and remind yourself of what you've already overcome. Third, the 40% rule. When your mind tells you you're done, you're only 40% of the way there. Push past that mental barrier. Fourth, taking souls. This means exceeding expectations so dramatically that you demoralize the competition, even if that competition is just your former self. But wait, here's where most people miss the point. These systems only work if you apply them consistently. One day of discipline doesn't make you disciplined any more than one workout makes you fit. The power is in the routine. The power is in doing these things when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when life is throwing curveballs at you. Point number 5. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Every single day, you're faced with choices. The easy path or the hard path. Comfort or growth. What feels good in the moment or what serves your future. Discipline is choosing your future self over your present self. When I was training for the Badwater 135, that's a 135-mile ultramarathon through Death Valley in summer temperatures of 130 degrees. I had to run 20-30 miles every day in preparation. There were days when my feet were so blistered I could barely walk. Days when my body was screaming at me to stop. But I had a choice: listen to the pain now or accomplish something extraordinary later. Let me tell you something I don't share often. During my third ultramarathon, I was at mile 70. My kidneys were shutting down. I was urinating blood. Every medical professional said I needed to stop or I might die. In that moment, I had to make the hardest choice of my life. And I chose to continue. Not because I'm special. Not because I'm tougher than you. But because I had trained my discipline. Muscle to the point where quitting was more painful than continuing. That's the level of discipline I'm talking about. That's what's available to you if you're willing to pay the price. So here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready, right fucking now. Identify one area of your life where you've been lacking discipline. Maybe it's your diet, your workout routine, your sleep schedule, your work ethic. Now make a commitment, not to me, but to yourself, to apply discipline in that area for the next 30 days. No excuses. No days off. No, I'll make up for it tomorrow. Write it down. Put it on your accountability mirror. Tell someone who will hold you accountable. And remember, discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about getting back up when you fall. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. If you found value in this video, hit that subscribe button. Not for me, I don't give a damn about subscriber counts. Do it for you. As a commitment to yourself, that you're ready to build the discipline that will transform your life. And stay tuned for my next video, Mental Toughness, how to train your mind to endure when your body wants to quit, where I'll share the exact mental frameworks I used to push through the most brutal challenges of my life. Remember, motivation is temporary. Discipline is power. Stay hard,